Do you recognize that constricting sensation in your chest that appears intermittently? The sensation you attribute to aging, tension, or perhaps simple heartburn. What would you think if I shared with you quietly, peacefully, yet assertively, that something residing directly there in your refrigerator, something you believed was beneficial, could actually be silently damaging your heart each and every day? I have witnessed this more times than I can remember. Elderly individuals attempting their utmost to consume clean foods, consume more vegetables, follow what they are advised is healthful, only to feel more exhausted, more bloated, more unsteady. And sometimes their heart bears the consequences. I am not claiming vegetables are harmful, certainly not. However, there are 5 particular vegetables that when consumed incorrectly or excessively can gradually burden your heart, elevate your blood pressure, interfere with your rhythm, and erode your vitality. And most individuals over 60 have no awareness, but you will. And once you understand, it will transform how you consume food permanently. This is not a sermon. This is a sincere conversation because I genuinely care. And because I understand what it feels like to awaken one day and wonder, why do I feel more aged than I actually am? Therefore, in this video, I will guide you through 5 common vegetables that may appear innocent, even beneficial, but can quietly deteriorate your heart if you are not cautious. And more significantly, I will demonstrate what to do alternatively. Simple substitutions, wiser selections, no costly supplements or complex diets, just understanding. And believe me, you will want to learn about number 5 because it is likely in your kitchen at this moment. So remain with me. This could be one of the most significant videos you have ever viewed for your heart. And if you are someone who desires to stay active, independent, and full of vitality long after 60, go ahead, press the like button, subscribe to Balance Health, and leave a comment below telling me where you are watching from. I read each and every one. Now, let us begin. Let us discuss the first vegetable on this list, the one that is concealing under the label of superfood, but can cause genuine harm if consumed incorrectly. Are you ready? Let us proceed. The first concerning vegetable spinach. It sounds like the ideal food, does it not? It is green, it is leafy, it is what Popeye relied upon. And for decades, we have been instructed to consume more of it. Raw in salads, green smoothies, juices. However, let me share something that might astonish you. When you are over 60, your body does not process spinach the way it previously did. Here is the reason. Raw spinach is loaded with something called oxalates. These small compounds do not sound frightening, but they can attach to calcium in your body and create crystals. Yes, crystals that can eventually develop into kidney stones. And when that occurs, your body struggles to filter out waste, regulate blood pressure, and maintain your cardiovascular system stable. Now, you might be thinking, well, I do not have kidney stones, so I am fine. But here is the issue. You do not have to feel anything for damage to be occurring. Over time, too many oxalates can accumulate and begin silently increasing inflammation in the blood vessels. And chronic inflammation is a direct catalyst for high blood pressure, arterial stiffness, and heart strain, especially in seniors. There was a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that discovered high oxalate diets significantly increase calcium oxalate excretion, particularly in people over 50. That is scientific language for your body begins disposing of important minerals while retaining things that can damage your kidneys and heart. I remember a woman named Elaine. She is 72, beautiful spirit, ate cleanly, exercised, did yoga, but she approached me frustrated that despite her lifestyle, her blood pressure was rising. When we examined closely, she was juicing raw spinach every morning. That smoothie she believed was helping her was actually flooding her system with oxalates. All we did was shift her to lightly steamed spinach, just 2 minutes in the pan, that is it, and we added some lemon juice to her meals. Within weeks, Her blood pressure decreased, her energy improved, and she finally slept through the night without getting up to urinate 4 times. That is the power of understanding your body after 60. You do not have to abandon spinach, you just have to treat it with care. Here is what you can do starting today. Steam your spinach. Light cooking breaks down oxalates by over 80%, making it easier on your kidneys and friendlier to your heart. Avoid combining raw spinach with high-calcium meals like cheese or milk because it blocks the absorption and causes buildup. And if you really love green smoothies, rotate your grains. Try kale, romaine, or even arugula, which are lower in oxalates and gentler on your heart. Asterisk asterisk, the second hidden threat asterisk asterisk, and speaking of sneaky, let us move on to the next vegetable. It is crunchy, it is tangy, and it is probably sitting in a glass jar in your refrigerator right now. But for your heart, it can be a ticking time bomb. Let us discuss pickled cucumbers. They are cold, they are crunchy, they go perfectly with a sandwich or a bowl of rice. For many seniors, pickled cucumbers, also known as gherkins, are a staple. They remind us of childhood, home-cooked meals, maybe even grandmother's kitchen. But here is the truth nobody really discusses. What makes pickles so tasty is exactly what makes them dangerous to your heart. I am talking about sodium. Just one small pickled cucumber can pack more salt than a whole bag of plain potato chips. And if you are eating more than one, or pairing them with salty soup, cold cuts, or even soy sauce, you could be unknowingly pushing your heart closer to the danger zone. Let me explain. When your body takes in too much sodium, it holds onto water to dilute it. That extra fluid increases the volume of blood in your system, and suddenly your heart has to pump harder, like a balloon stretched too tight. This raises your blood pressure, tires out your heart muscle, and over time it can lead to heart failure, especially in older adults. A large-scale study published in the New England Journal of Medicine followed over 100,000 people and found that higher sodium intake was directly linked to higher blood pressure and greater risk of cardiovascular events, particularly in those over 60. And this was not from chips or fast food. It was from everyday innocent foods like pickles, canned vegetables, and preserved sauces. I once spoke with a gentleman named Mr. Long, 68 years old, retired teacher. He did not smoke, did not drink, and walked every morning. But his blood pressure was through the roof. When I asked him about his meals, he smiled and said, "Just rice, fish, and a few pickles on the side." Every day, those few pickles contained over 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day, nearly the entire daily limit for someone with high blood pressure. We swapped out the pickles for fresh cucumber slices with apple cider vinegar and dill, just a pinch of salt. And within 2 months, his numbers dropped by nearly 20 points. He did not have to give up the crunch, he just had to give up the overload. Asterisk asterisk, the third surprising culprit asterisk asterisk. The next vegetable on this list might surprise you even more because it is praised by almost every health show and wellness blog. But when eaten raw and in large amounts, it can actually make your heart race and not in a good way. Let us take a closer look at raw garlic. Garlic, the miracle bulb. You hear it everywhere. Garlic lowers cholesterol. Garlic protects your heart. Garlic is nature's antibiotic. And it is true to a point. But here is the twist. When garlic is eaten raw, especially in large amounts, it can actually do the opposite. It can overstimulate your heart and disrupt your rhythm. Let me explain. Raw garlic contains a powerful compound called allicin. That is the substance responsible for its strong smell, its sharp taste, and many of its supposed health benefits. But when allicin enters your body in high doses, say from raw garlic shots, crushed cloves in salad dressings, or even garlic pills, it does not just help your heart, it can stress it out. There was a clinical study in Phytomedicine Journal that found high-dose garlic extract could interfere with heart rate and cause hypotension, followed by a rebound in blood pressure. Meaning your pressure dips then shoots back up. That bouncing effect is not good for older hearts. It confuses the nervous system and makes the heart beat harder than it needs to. I will share about Maria, a 70-year-old woman I met during a wellness retreat. Sweet, sharp, full of life, but one morning, she nearly fainted after breakfast. When we checked what she ate, it was just yogurt and a clove of raw garlic, like she had done every morning for years. Her blood pressure had dropped so low, we had to give her sweet tea to bring it back up. You see, what helped her 20 years ago was not helping her now. Her body had changed, her heart had changed, and that raw garlic routine had quietly turned into a ticking time bomb. The fourth deceptive danger now. Brace yourself, because the next food on this list might seem completely harmless. You have probably eaten it in soups, stir-fries, or salads. It is small, it is crunchy, it grows fast. But when eaten raw, especially for seniors, it carries a silent risk you might have never considered. Let us talk about raw sprouts. They look so innocent, do they not? Tiny green shoots, often tossed on top of salads, tucked into sandwiches, or blended into smoothies. Raw sprouts like mung bean, alfalfa, clover, or radish are often praised as superfoods full of enzymes, vitamins, and youthful energy. But for seniors over 60, these little greens can carry a big risk, one that goes far beyond upset stomachs. Raw sprouts can quietly damage your heart health by triggering infections, inflammation, and even dangerous imbalances in your bloodstream. Here is the hidden danger. Raw sprouts are one of the most common sources of bacterial contamination in the produce world. Why? Because the warm, moist environment they grow in, the very condition that helps them sprout, is also the perfect breeding ground for dangerous bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella, and Listeria. And if you think your immune system can just fight it off, think again. After 60, the immune system naturally weakens. Even a mild bacterial infection can trigger systemic inflammation, and that is where the heart takes a hit. There was a detailed CDC report that showed dozens of outbreaks linked directly to raw sprouts, many affecting seniors and older adults with weakened immunity. And here is the worst part: you cannot smell it, you cannot see it. And washing the sprouts does not remove the bacteria once they are inside. I will never forget Mr. Ahmad, a 74-year-old with no history of heart disease who ended up in the emergency room with a rapid heartbeat and low blood pressure. After days of tests, the cause was not his medication, stress, or even his heart. It was a bacterial infection from raw alfalfa sprouts in his sandwich. It sent his system into a state of stress. And for a heart that is already aging, that kind of stress is dangerous. The fifth shocking revelation now, onto the last vegetable, and this one is a shocker. It is deep purple, soft when cooked, and often recommended for cholesterol. But when it is eaten in the wrong form, it can quietly introduce a compound that disrupts your nervous system and puts pressure on your heart. Let us take a closer look at eggplant. Eggplant, also called aubergine in some places, is one of those vegetables people assume is always healthy. It has got that deep, rich color that screams antioxidants. It soaks up flavors like a sponge. And for years, it has been part of heart-healthy diets like the Mediterranean plan. But here is what most people over 60 do not know. Eggplant contains a compound called solanine, a natural toxin that in certain conditions can irritate your nervous system, increase inflammation, and even elevate blood pressure or disrupt heart rhythm when your body becomes sensitive to it. Solanine is a glycoalkaloid and it is found in all nightshade vegetables like tomatoes, potatoes, and peppers. But eggplant has some of the highest concentrations, especially in the skin and seeds. Now, for most healthy adults in their 30s or 40s, a little solanine is not a big deal. But for seniors with weaker kidneys, slower digestion, or compromised nervous systems, solanine can quietly build up. There was a clinical review in the Journal of Pharmacology and Pharmacotherapeutics that described how solanine, even in small doses, can interfere with nerve signal transmission, leading to symptoms like heart palpitations, muscle stiffness, fatigue, and yes, cardiac irregularities. I once met a widower named Paul, 75 years old, who loved cooking ratatouille. He made it every other night. Eggplant, tomatoes, a little olive oil. But after a few weeks of strange fatigue, heart flutters, and dizziness, he came in for a checkup. His labs were clean, but his EKG showed irregular rhythm patterns. We removed nightshades from his diet for 3 weeks. His heart rhythm normalized. He could not believe it. Asterisk, asterisk, the path forward, asterisk, asterisk. So, what does all this mean? It does not mean you need to be afraid of your food. It does not mean you have to throw everything out of your refrigerator. And it definitely does not mean your best years are behind you. What it does mean is this: your heart has carried you for decades. It has been through joys, stresses, sleepless nights, celebrations, heartbreaks, and now more than ever, it deserves kindness. Not just in how you rest or move, but in what you choose to eat quietly, day after day. Just a few small changes, like steaming your spinach, rinsing that pickle, lightly cooking your garlic, skipping the raw sprouts, or roasting your eggplant, can take pressure off your heart and give it the support it needs to keep beating strong for years to come. And if you are watching this thinking, "That is me, I eat those things. Maybe that is why I feel off lately," then you have already done the most important thing. You have become aware. From here, everything gets easier. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 5 vegetables surprised you the most. Was it the garlic, the sprouts? Maybe you felt some of these symptoms and did not know why. And if this video helped you even just a little, tap that like button. Subscribe to Balance Health. We have built this channel just for you, to guide you through this season of life with clarity, comfort, and confidence. Because aging with power does not mean pushing harder. It means getting smarter. And together, we will keep your heart and your spirit strong. I will see you in the next video.